Well, Geoff, we are digging into our mailbag today, and let's start off with a question from one of our good friends and previous co-hosts, and spoiler alert, he may be coming back for a future pod very soon.
Ooh.
Ben.
This is news to me. Oh, wait, no, I didn't know this.
What are you talking about? We did it, Geoff. Justin.
I'm going to be the next president of the United States. Geoff. And welcome to Bants.
And Geoff, this is our 100th episode.
100. You're going to do that in vocal? I mean, like in After Effects?
Well, the thing about doing it in like post is that you can't do it in current. Like if you do it with the echo live, it'll sound terrible if I add the echo in post, you know? So just say 100.
100!
Perfect. And then I'll do it in post. And it'll sound so good. Yeah.
Nice and clean.
Mm-hmm. Great job.
Simple and clean. That song's still stuck in my head months later.
Is the way that you're making me feel tonight.
When you walk away.
Kingdom Hearts. Okay. Well, let's just say this. This is a fun episode, right? This is a chill episode for us.
Fun, firstly. So how dare you?
Well, you're
Justin,
right.
Firstly, how dare you?
You're right about that. What I mean by that is that we're, I think, going to be a little more free flow today. This is a celebratory episode.
Would you say we're flushing the format?
I would say that. I would say that, yes. And I will add the echo and post on that. We are flushing the format indeed. We're going to be talking about some hot tops like normal, but maybe we'll throw in a couple extra ones off the cuff. And then we're going to go into our mailbag where some of our dear listeners have sent in questions for us to answer on the pod today. Can't wait.
I can't wait for that either. What I really can't wait for you to explain is the bookshelf that I'm seeing just to the left of you in frame.
Well, yes, Geoff, my new bookshelf is in frame. You can see it just here on the corner of our window here. I did just purchase that bookshelf. I've been getting served many ads for it on Instagram, so I was influenced.
Nerd alert.
I also did need a small footprint bookshelf to fit some of my books, you know?
You would call that a small footprint?
Yeah, it's maybe like at maximum a couple feet by a couple feet. Probably more like 1.5 feet.
So that is relatively small. What about wall shelving?
Well, Geoff, the thing about wall shelving is we rent, and I don't want to deal with all that.
Well, I mean, you can fill holes.
Sure, but...
Mama, talk to me about filling holes.
I just don't want to have to deal with the construction of it, and I can carry this around with me when I go from place to place at our next place.
From room to room. Throw it on your back.
That too, for sure. But I mean, like, if we move, I would say when we move, hopefully, you know, gotta upgrade. We can take this bookshelf with us, you know, and we'll have even more space. And I feel like it's a nice centerpiece to the room.
That is a very interesting, I would say, conversation piece, you know?
I mean, I personally love to look at other people's bookshelves when I'm like entering their home. It's like a nice, polite thing to do that's kind of nosy, you know?
It's a polite thing to do that's kind of nosy.
Well, like, they're like, hey, can I get you a glass of water? And I'm like, sure. And they go into the kitchen. And what am I to do for those 5 minutes?
Looking around their bookshelves, other people looking around their medicine cabinets.
Exactly. You're saying I'm just supposed to sit there silently and think to myself for like those 30 seconds? No, I need something to do. I need an activity.
We need stimulation.
Exactly. So I'm checking out the bookshelf, and I do think it says a lot about a person.
One thing about Justin, he's checking out the bookshelf.
That is one thing about me for sure. For sure.
Well, Justin, I'm thrilled that we are at 100 episodes. Big claps to you, because we all know that if it were up to me, this probably would have ended, I don't know, episode 3, because I have no executive function.
I think we recorded 4 episodes as like a pilot before we even put them out, right?
Right, and that would have been the end. I would have been like, that was fun. I don't know, I'm kind of busy the next few days. Cut to me rewatching Shrill for like the 5th time.
Yeah, I'm busy. I'm binging Better Call Saul like you were last week.
Justin, I'm on the last season.
How's it holding up? Still great?
Well, I need to start the last season.
Okay.
The final episode of season 5 was shocking. I was absolutely like wrecked for a minute.
Gobsmacked,
I was like, whoa. Gobsmacked is a great word. Thank you, Willy Wonka. Roald Dahl. What about the name Roald Dahl?
How's it spelled? Isn't there an L in there? Is it Roald Doll or is it just Road?
It's RHODE, like the island. And then,
okay.
Wait, is it? Nope, that's not right.
In my head, it's ROALD.
Yeah, I think you might be right. And then DAHL.
It is rolled, like the word road with an L in the middle of it.
Wait, Rolled Doll could be a hilarious drag name. Like Rolled. ROLLED.
So is there a second meaning that I'm not understanding here?
No, it's just like a play on words.
Just a pun.
Yeah, it's just like a pun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's fun.
Yeah, sure. And maybe it's like roll. Sorry, imagine the drag queen Rolled Doll is like a joint or something. Like you got to integrate roll somewhere in there.
Justin, now you're really cooking with gas. Rolled
This
Doll.
is like the worst idea of all time.
Damn.
Imagine rolling out onto stage. Woo.
Justin, drag is supposed to be fucking dumb. So I think that'd be great.
Okay, and we have a question about drag coming up.
I did see that.
In our mailbag, so that's exciting. Geoff, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How's the Lost rewatch going? The Lost watch, I should say. Your first time Lost watch.
Well, Justin, I'll be real with you. I forgot all about it. I got to episode 5, I think.
Okay, well, the good news is you only have 19 more to go. So
I'm going to pick it back up as soon as I finish Better Call Saul.
Okay, because I noticed that when I was checking out our lineup for the next few episodes, we're already at the Emmy nominations. So it's almost award season already.
What?
Which means, we're going to have our awards competition, and we got to make sure this special episode comes out before then.
Jesus Christ. I feel like it just ended.
Well, you know how it is, award season. It's like 9 months out of the year.
It's a long one.
July through March.
Yeah, it's a slog. Imagine being nominated for all those things. Like, that's great, but then it's like, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of press, Justin.
Yeah.
It's a lot of outfits, a lot of luncheons.
Sometimes I fool myself into thinking I would enjoy that, like just going to parties all the time, and being on camera.
I would be bad at that. I would need a beta blocker big time.
I think I would get tired. Whenever I'm traveling for work, I'm always like, I'm out for a day and I'm like, I can't do anything else.
Let's talk about this.
Sure.
My first job when I had to travel around the country for work, they wanted me to do my day of travel, and it would be conferences or it'd be meetings, and then I'd have a party to host and all this stuff. And then they wanted me to get on email afterwards and be responding to shit at nighttime. How crazy is that? I'm I just had a full ass day. I flew from fucking Newark, which I had to take a train to San Francisco.
So offended by Newark.
It's Listen, Newark is crazy. And I think we can all agree on that. I gotta
be honest.
I can find common ground with anybody that Newark is one of the craziest cities. I
mean, I've been to the airport, but that's it.
And that's all you need to see, really. Have you ever? Well, no, you haven't. But the Newark train station, dork-sided. That's one of the inner circles of hell, I think. Probably 4 or 5.
Port Authority, higher or lower?
The Port Authority is pretty bad. That's where I did see that unhoused lost person pull a rotten tooth out of her mouth, scream, and hold it over her head like it was baby Simba, and then throw it across 8th Avenue.
That sounds like a bit from Broad City or something. That can't be.
It really does sound like that, but I swear to God, it happened in real life, and that was
God.
I think that was probably my 3rd or 4th day living in Manhattan, and I was like, oh fuck!
Talk about a canon memory.
It was crazy, and that was also the summer where it rained a ton, and it was still so hot and steamy, and there was just those nasty pools of garbage water that never dry. You know what I'm talking about? It's so humid, it never dries.
I of course know, yeah.
And I was wearing flip flops.
Oh, well, there's your mistake. What are you doing?
Listen, it was my 4th day. What am I going to do? I didn't know.
I will say that when I moved into my apartment in New York when I started grad school, I had a roommate, Michael. You remember
I sure do remember Michael.
Michael, one of the first things he said to me was, please take your shoes off when you come into the apartment, which I'm always, I'm a shoes off household from the beginning. So
right.
That's not new to me. But he was like, the streets can get so dirty in the city. So
That's
please take your shoes off. And he was also like, I recommend that you do not wear flip flops.
And Michael had points.
Yeah.
Michael also had taxidermy birds, which was fascinating.
He did. We actually have a taxidermy bird. Did you know this?
No.
Brandy purchased... Sorry, I don't mean to be spotlighting Brandy, to be outing Brandy on the pod here like this, but Brandy purchased when we moved to the area. Maybe it was earlier. I can't remember. I can't remember exactly when she bought it, but it was an Etsy purchase. She bought a taxidermied chick like a duck chick, or maybe I think it's a duck, like a baby duck.
What?
Would you like to see it?
I kind of do. Because what the fuck?
Okay, I gotta show Geoff this duck.
A taxidermied duck chick. A duckling, they would say. Oh, duckling. What? This duck, firstly, it looks fucked up, and it's like on a little wooden disc, like a log that was cut in the shape of a disc, and that's what it's standing on.
That's its pedestal.
For those who are listening and not watching. Yeah, I don't really like that at all. Does Mochi go crazy over it?
Well, he would, but that's why he put it on all the way on the top of the bookshelf.
Oh my god, Mochi doesn't even notice.
Thankfully.
Eyes too crossed. Can't see that far.
He's very nearsighted. Yeah.
Oh, poor baby. All right, Justin, we have some hot topics we got to get to, and unfortunately today I do have a hard out, so let's get to them.
All right, let's get into it. First one, Geoff, Shrek.
Yes.
I would say an unexpected cultural touchstone, especially for a certain generation. I would say younger millennials, Gen Z, Shrek is like an text for those two generations.
100%. Pick 3, my lord!
The trailer for the new Shrek film, Shrek 5, yes, we are at 5, has dropped. Geoff, have you watched the trailer?
I have watched it. I do think that Eddie Murphy still sounds very funny, and I do love Donkey. It's probably my favorite character in Shrek. What did you think of it?
I gotta be honest. This is no shade to Shrek people. Like, I think that Shrek 1 and 2 are funny and good.
Yes.
But I don't feel like I have a draw to this as like an IP. I'm not like, whoa, a new Shrek, I have to go see that. You know what I mean?
I feel the same way.
When I watch this, it feels like kind of like the way that you felt about The Social Reckoning last week. Like, I'm like, why does this exist? There's very little plot at all. It's kind of just like, guess what? Shrek's back. Donkey's back. Here's Donkey making a couple of jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Shrek has teenage children now, who I guess it's been recently reported that the children, we already knew that Zendaya was playing one of the teenagers.
Right. I remember us talking about that a long time ago.
However, it has been recently reported that Marcelo Hernandez of SNL fame is portraying another of his kids.
That's kind of great.
And Skylar Gisondo, who played, I forget his name, but like Superman's sidekick in the new Superman movie, he's playing another one of the teenagers.
Oh, that dude. Yeah.
So that was newly announced, and both of those male children of Shrek were featured in this trailer. And that's, to me, like kind of the first or the only new piece of information that this trailer shows. Otherwise, it's just like Shrek being grumpy, Donkey being over the top and annoying.
Yeah.
And that's it. I think we saw that Shrek and his kids are in jail for some reason, but we don't really know why.
Correct.
Yeah, I don't know. This just feels like an announcement that like, hey, we're making a new Shrek. Come to the theater.
Yeah, it also says like in 1 year. Like,
they announce this so far in advance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess because Shrek has such a cultural pull for some reason. Like, it's so odd. Like, it's kind of honestly like a missed opportunity that this is the first new one they've put out since, whenever the fourth one came out was.
Well, I think that the animation takes a long time. And I also think that, I feel like the reason they're making Shrek 5 is because Shrek had such like a comeback during the pandemic. Like, for whatever reason, like Gen Z, and Gen Alpha really found out about Shrek and were like, wait, we love this.
Yeah.
Remember the giant Shrek dancing meme?
Hilarious. I mean,
so good.
Just great. I don't know if you've been involved or seen any of this discourse, but what's your take on the whole like glow up of Shrek narrative that's happening? A lot of people are saying that the new Shrek that's featured in this trailer is like too Pixar-y, too good looking, whereas like the Shrek of like the first couple of movies was kind of like janky and ugly and like weird. And now it's like
it's like sanitized.
It looks too good.
Shrek has Instagram face.
Exactly. What's your take on that? Do you agree?
He doesn't really look that different to me in my memory of it, but like I also haven't watched Shrek in so long, it would be hard for me to say. I bet if I looked at them side by side, I'd be like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But I do just kind of feel like we're in an era where like everything has to be aesthetic, everything.
And I think that's part of the reason why the original Shrek like hit with younger generations is it's like this is like weird and janky and strange in a way that modern animation like is not.
Right, exactly. Like even Super Mario. Mario used to be kind of just like a fat dowdy little plumber, and now he's like kind of hot.
But it's also like the lighting effects of these new like animation studios and stuff, like they're gorgeous. You know what I mean? It's like everything has like the most pristine, amazing lighting.
Well, the technology's improved.
Exactly. The technology has improved so much, and you have absolute control over lighting in a way that you don't with like live action, right? So it's always kind of these like dreamy glow type
fantasy,
lights.
Honey.
I don't know how to square that circle because I think that like there's this expectation that things have to look great now, and if it doesn't, then like 75% of the audience is going to be like, this looks like garbage, or this looks like Toy Story 1. I don't know. I personally think that Shrek looks completely fine. I'm not like I don't know what people expected, I guess, is my response to that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I don't have anything else to say about that, really. Wait, but what about this? What about this?
Sure.
We're talking about Shrek. Mike Myers, right? Famously voices Shrek.
Famously.
Mike Myers put out a commercial recently with Verizon it's like an Austin Powers themed commercial, and then they announced Austin Powers 4 is coming out.
I don't know at what stage or what level of confirmation we're at. I know that he said that he is
No, it's definitely happening.
Making an Austin Powers sequel. Okay, so it's been greenlit.
Yes, definitely. What do you think about that? I'm like, this is going to be so interesting at this day and age to make Austin Powers, because it was like, it wasn't even cringe comedy. It was just like slapstick, like scary movie style comedy where it was like inappropriate, racially insensitive, lots of like sex jokes that were just dumb, and the plots were often really stupid.
Well, I think that the gag when it comes to these Austin Powers movies is that, like, did you guys know that James Bond is racist and sexist and like a complete fucking idiot? Like, that's kind of the joke. And also the other implicit joke is that it's kind of this like anti-British humor where like James Bond is like this sexy, handsome guy, and then like Austin Powers is like an actual real Brit who has like bad teeth and is kind of goofy.
Super hairy, hirsute, yeah.
Okay, so I just want to quickly give exactly what the status of this Austin Powers film is. So he has apparently said on Trevor Noah's show, all he said was yes when a fan asked him, are we ever going to see an Austin Powers 4? That is the level of confirmation that we have. There's no announcement from a studio, no official green light, but apparently, according to Mike Myers, we will be getting an Austin Powers 4. So just want to make sure that that's clear.
Yeah, but they already got everybody together for this commercial. It's like definitely happening.
I mean, they get people together for a commercial all the time.
No, not these people. It's definitely happening.
Okay. All right. Okay. But I think it could still work.
It'll just be interesting.
What was the name of that film with Liam Neeson that came out recently that was like based on an old comedy spoof thing?
Oh, The Naked Gun.
Yes. We just saw a Naked Gun like reboot with Liam Neeson. That is, I mean, I watched that movie. It's very similar in spirit to the original series. Yeah. So it's really not like impossible to reboot these types of satire films, these parody films. I guess the question is like, will audiences go to see it?
Millennials will.
Speaking of which, Scary Movie did very well at the box office, even though by all accounts it was really bad. Yeah.
Horrible ratings. Oh my God.
But it did well in the box office, and that's very much in the same bag as Austin Powers. So
that's true. I do think Austin Powers is better than Scary Movie. Like, it was definitely funnier for sure.
Well, it's more focused, right? It has like a very specific target.
Scary Movie was essentially like sketches that they linked together, and they're like, we have to have some kind of a common thread here. And then it's like they never really stuck the landing, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing that I feel like is kind of silly about Scary Movie is that it's basically just like, let's just remake the biggest horror scenes from the last 10 years and then like make a sex joke in the middle of it. And like, that's the gag every single sketch, right? Yep. And it's, they don't really do anything new. And then even in the later ones, they just started incorporating movies that weren't even horror. Like I remember we watched Scary Movie 2, I guess like a few months ago now, that was a while ago. But when we watched it, there was like a whole Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon sequence.
Right.
So it was just like, where'd that come from? I don't know. They were just like, let's just throw it in there.
Yeah, they're like, we gotta make fun of this thing that's like really big in culture right now. I do have to say, I love the Ma references in Scary Movie. What was it? Scary Movie 5? I don't even know.
I think they just called it just Scary Movie.
Oh, okay.
As like a reboot or whatever. I don't remember what number it is.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Ma. No. I just saw like clips of it on TikTok.
You just saw the clips. Okay.
Yes. Cool. I saw what I needed to, I think. Once I saw the ratings, I was like, yikes.
Well, speaking of films, sequels even.
Yes.
Another film that we have confirmed we'll get a sequel for is a sequel to the live action Jim Carrey starring Grinch film. We have confirmation from The Hollywood Reporter that a sequel is coming with the same director, Ron Howard, who directed the first one. Geoff, what's your relationship with the first live action Grinch movie, and are you excited for this sequel?
You know, I didn't really watch it when I was younger because I thought it was like weird. I thought it was like too uncanny valley and it like weirded me out. And I was like a bit of a purist. And I was like, I just want to watch Dr. Seuss's The Grinch, you know, the animated classic.
The original animated, yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't really watch it when I was little. Sarah got me into The Grinch because I watched it at her house with her 7 or 8 years ago.
Hmm.
like around the holidays, and I was like, oh, this is actually very funny, and it's like campy, and Christine Baranski and Molly Shannon are very enjoyable in the film. And Jim Carrey's performance is great, but it is very, I don't know, it's a little bit like dark, I guess.
You're saying that like it's a bad thing.
Well, I don't know. It's like a weird take on it. I do appreciate that it has a vision.
Hmm.
And I think that the set design and costuming in that movie is fantastic.
Yeah.
But there was weird things I didn't like. Like I didn't care about like the Grinch's backstory as like being teased and as like a weird chubby little kid and whatever, you know? I didn't need all that. But Martha May Whovier is kind of a gay icon.
So you are not a person that has reappraised this and said like this is actually great. You're still kind of like out on the Jim Carrey Grinch.
No, I mean, like, there are aspects of it that I enjoy, but I don't feel like particularly hot on it. I'm not like, oh, this is a fantastic movie that I have to watch every year now. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Did you watch it when you were a kid?
Yes, I definitely did. I'm sure I saw the cartoon version first, but I was still pretty young when the live action one came out. So
Yeah. Same. We're just a year apart, by the way. Okay. It's like
I mean, I know. I'm just saying that I don't remember a time where I was not familiar with a live action Grinch film. Like it was just in my life as soon as I was conscious. I have also recently rewatched it, and it's like pretty funny and good. I think that like I mean Jim Carrey is one of our most legendary physical performers. Like
Yeah.
the stuff that he does with his body in that film is just like incredible. It's I know it's like insane to say, but I really think it's like one of his best performances. Like
No, it is.
great, and he also there's like surprising gravitas mixed in with the like insane like physical comedy that he does as the Grinch as well. And then I think that like the other thing about it is that when you're a kid, you're not relating to the Grinch because you're like, why would you not like Christmas? This is the silliest thing of
Yeah.
all time, right? Instead, you relate to who's the little girl? I always forget
Cindy
her name.
Lou Who.
Yeah, you relate to Cindy Lou Who.
Taylor Momsen, by the way.
Yeah, Gossip Girl fame, of course.
Gossip Girl, go piss girl.
When you watch it as an adult, you relate much more to the Grinch, especially there's these great like montages of him like getting ready to go out. And he's like, I think, I guess I'll stay in, what should I even wear? Blah, blah, blah. And all of his insecurities and the way that he's like so brash and bold about like pretending like he doesn't have these insecurities. But of course he has this backstory and trauma, which
Yeah.
if it wasn't like so big and like, when I say big, I mean like in a comic way, it's like so over the top. If it wasn't so over the top, I think it would be kind of like cliche or trite that like, of course, this guy has like a tortured backstory, but
Yeah.
it's almost like winking at itself and winking at the audience by how big and crazy Jim Carrey plays it. So I'm like quite excited for this, although I don't really know what a sequel looks like. Does the Grinch like start hating Christmas again? Does
Well,
he?
that's the thing, right? Like, I feel like we always have these stories. Like, movies are like not really meant to be a multiple film thing, right? Like, there's not supposed to be like a huge story here. Like, they were remaking The Grinch. They had a concept. It was good. They made it. It was a good movie. People like it. It's a classic now for most people. I would say most people our age, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I should also add that my mom hated it and thought it was like creepy and did not want us to watch it. So that's part of why I didn't watch it when I was little.
Yeah.
But that movie was not made with the intention of there being a sequel ever. So now it's a little bit like fitting a
square peg into a round hole.
I just don't really know like what the story is going to be. I can't really conceive of anything that makes a lot of sense because he's supposedly changed. Seems like we don't really need this, but it's it's that IP, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would prefer a sequel to endless rebooting, right? Like we saw the animated reboot of the Grinch from I think Illumination.
Okay,
was like
which was cute. I will die on this hill. Everybody wants to say it was like fucking terrible. I thought it was very cute.
I do
watch that every Christmas. You haven't even seen it?
You watch the new animated one every Christmas?
Yes. Kenan Thompson is so funny in it.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like,
hey, Grinchy! He has this like really like over the top like neighbor who like loves Christmas and is just like blithely unaware of everything going on around him. It's great.
I just like that instead of reinterpreting the same story. I mean, you tell me because you've seen it. Is it still the same story of like the Grinch's heart grows 3 sizes? Like,
yes.
Okay, so it's still like the underlying same narrative, just like rebooted and redone. Okay.
Yes.
So like personally, if I had to choose between like a total reboot where you just remake it again with a different visual style or whatever versus like a sequel, I personally would prefer the sequel.
Okay. I don't.
You prefer the reboot?
I can value a good reboot, and I think that the Illumination version is good. But I think that people were kind of like, "Oh, this movie like doesn't really trek so far away from the original. Why was it made?" And I'm like, "Well, it was made for like a younger audience. It was made for today's audience. You
Yeah, it's a
know,
kids
it's got
movie,
like that gorgeous like Illumination, like phantasmagoric kind of aesthetic to it, which I really love because it feels very Dr. Seuss. And I'm like, this is what he probably really imagined when he was like envisioning this world. Like everything is over the top and elevated and beautiful and like wacky and like defies physics.
I mean,
And
you're
it's
literally
really
describing the
fun.
live action Grinch movie. Like,
Yeah, I mean it, but I'm saying like there was the Grinch, then there was a Jim Carrey's The Grinch, and then there is the Illumination version. Like it's the same story told for different audiences that are very of that era. And I
sure.
like that.
Okay.
I think that it's cool. I think it has value to like reinterpret stories in multiple ways. What about Cinderella, Justin? What about the all of the fairy tales from the Brothers Grimm? How many times have those been redone? And how many of them are good? You're gonna tell me Brandy and Whitney Houston's Cinderella is not good?
I'm not saying that any given. Here's what I am saying.
Oh,
Cinderella and those Grimm's fairy tales, those are many of the reinterpretations of those like kind of texts, these like pre-IP, pre-actual legal distinction of ownership of these stories.
But legal distinction.
Yeah, there is like rights to the Grinch, like that have to be sold out to companies to
What
be
does that have to
remade.
do with the price of tea in China?
Well, you won't if you would let me finish my statement. Maybe you would learn. So here's the thing.
Wow.
A lot of these reinterpretations of
Put one up on the Justin being a bitch count.
If you look at a lot of the reinterpretations of these old folk tales, oftentimes they are like subversions or interesting takes on it. Whereas when it's IP, people treat it like it's a sacred text and we don't want to fuck with it, right? That's what I'm talking about when I talk about these Grinch adaptations. Like the Grinch's heart has to go 3 sizes every single adaptation of this story because like people have a relationship with this specific story, with this IP, and corporations are risk averse when it comes to adapting it, right? When it comes to something like Cinderella or Rapunzel, whenever you see a new adaptation of these like ancient folk tales, they're usually subversions or a twist or something different about it, right? That's a totally different thing. Like how many adaptations of Hansel and Gretel have we seen? We have like children's book level adaptations, and then we have like horror movies, you know? So like there is a distinction, I think, between like companies rebooting old IP in the vein of like the Harry Potter TV series. You really think they're going to do a new take on that? No, they're just like reheating the nachos, as opposed to an old folktale where they can actually do it with a twist.
Justin, I
think
that can be the case sometimes, but I do not think. I think you're painting with a broad brush here. I think I could find plenty of examples of where, like, what about this Sleeping Beauty? Every time she pricks her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and falls asleep until Prince Charming wakes her up with a kiss.
There are retellings. Well, that's exactly right, Geoff. There are feminist retellings of Sleeping Beauty. There are these retellings that are different.
My point being that there are plenty of examples that completely counteract what you just said is the case.
I'm saying that in the absence,
I win in the court of law. Geoff wins this case.
In the court of law. My point
I've
is
plenty
that
of examples to negate your point.
Wait, I don't think you understand what my point is.
I do understand your point.
Giving examples of non-copyrighted material having loyal adaptations does not negate the fact that there are more flexible, more strange adaptations of those materials. What I'm saying is when it comes to copyrighted material that are being adapted, it is much less likely that companies who are risk averse with these IPs are taking risks in these adaptations. That's the point that I'm making. Not that it never happens.
Well,
the Harry Potter TV show is like such a great example because do you really think they're going to change a single thing about that narrative?
From the movie or from the book?
Either.
It will definitely be very different than the movies and include a lot of different things, but it will probably be much more true to the book.
And that's because people are risk averse with Harry Potter and the fan base is like rabid about loyalty to the source material.
I don't think people are as rabid for other things like what were we talking about? The Grinch? I don't even know. Justin, I can't even believe we're spending so much time on this. We have 2 hot topics and I have a hard out. We got to move on.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a quick break. And then when we come back, we'll get into our mailbag.
Mailbag, 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 mailbag.
we're back.
We're back. Justin lost the previous argument. I think we all know it.
Yeah, and we know because you keep stating it, and that means that it's absolutely true.
And that means it's a point for me.
Well, Geoff, we are digging into our mailbag today, and let's start off with a question from one of our good friends and previous co-hosts, and spoiler alert, he may be coming back for a future pod very soon.
Ooh.
Ben.
This is news to me. Oh, wait, no, I didn't know this.
What are you talking about? You act like we haven't multiple times. Okay, well, we're starting off with Ben's question, Geoff. We're starting off with Ben's question. Ben says, a few questions for this auspicious episode of my favorite pod. First question. I have these two friends, Steph and Dustin, that started a podcast called Rants. What is the best way to help the pod really blow up so they can quit their day jobs? Geoff, thoughts?
Okay, firstly, share their clips on social media. They probably have merch that's coming out soon. You can certainly support. It'll be very low cost and affordable because we have fans of all different income levels. Justin, we want this to be a very accessible situation for Steph and Dustin. Of course.
We can just go ahead and dispense with this facade.
Wow.
Ben is asking us what the best way to support this pod is, right? Definitely follow us on socials if you're not already. Like, I got a bunch of social media followers on my personal account, far fewer on the band's Instagram account. And let me tell you, Geoff, our content over there doing pretty well.
It is doing pretty well, actually, lately, especially the back rooms.
Yeah, we're hitting the algos, which we love to see.
So follow us there. We love to algorithm.
I think the most important thing you can do, though, to support specifically the podcast is leave a rating, leave a review, whether you're doing it on Spotify or Apple.
Oh, leave a comment.
Yeah, leave a comment on Spotify if you want. I mean, the number of reviews and the average review is very important, especially on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, for serving the podcast to other folks that are interested.
Oh, yeah, baby, a bump
It's also important for us to be able to show folks, hey, look at how many reviews we have. These are all listeners, like they love the show. These are like dedicated people because they're leaving reviews on the podcast. So that's another important one. And as Geoff mentioned, we can announce, I think, that we have merch in the works. So if you would like to spend some money, stay tuned. We will provide a link when we have that merch available to buy.
And it will be not for profit, basically. We're just like doing this at cost because we want people to get our stuff and get out there, you know?
Yeah.
And, another thing, Ben, I think that you could personally do to support the pod, you could just, dress up like a Mormon missionary, let's say, and hand out little pamphlets on the corner of U Street and say, have you heard the good news? And then you just slide them over a little pamphlet that has a QR code so that they can scan it and just go listen to our pod. It's always an option. That's a fun option.
Especially in this economy where we are not spending money to advertise this podcast at this point. I mean, obviously we've invested in like equipment and stuff like that, but we're not like boosting any of our reels or any of our content or our profile on socials at this point. And I think that the best way to get the word out is just word of mouth. So like if we have a particularly good episode or we break down, like a piece of media in a way that you find really appealing, or maybe we make a point in an episode that's really interesting to you, tell your friends about it and tell your friends that it's a fun pod. It's a fun listen.
And you could even just airdrop our episode to people on the Amtrak. There's all sorts of ways you can support. Okay, next question.
Okay, next question from Ben. If your friend was hosting a charity amateur drag event and asked you to perform, what song are you doing for your number? And the bonus cue is what look and wig are you wearing to really stunt on the girlies? So, Geoff, why don't you go first?
Okay. I am doing a routine to Lindsay Lohan's song Rumors.
Okay.
I'm going to have Justin remix it for me and intercut it with gossip clips of Wendy Williams. Like when she's like, the tea is exceptionally good today. Who made this? And then like from Real Housewives of Atlanta, when they all are sitting around the table and someone has just said, I was talking to somebody in the group and they said Candy's a lesbian. And they all go, who said that? For like 3 minutes, they're all just going, who said that? We're going to do that. And then, of course, we got to have the clip of Nene saying, oh, hell no. I know that dress ain't got you talking that type of shit. And then I'll do a fun routine to that. And I'm going to be wearing like a really tall, like blonde, like yellow blonde wig, like probably 3 wigs stacked on top of each other. I'm going to go for like some purple eyeshadow so my eyes look more green. And I'm going to be wearing like a fun, like hot pink, like Romy and Michelle style, like vinyl dress.
Okay.
With huge platform sandals. What about you, Justin?
So I have not thought about this as much as you have, obviously. I have like an answer for what song I think would be fun to perform. And then I have an answer for like aesthetic, which are kind of distinct because I don't think they necessarily work with each other.
Okay.
So aesthetically, I think the obvious answer, because I have already dressed up as Amy Winehouse for Halloween. And we have an uncanny resemblance, you know?
You really do.
And also the beehive wig is also quite fun.
Yeah.
I think I would, have a fit that's an Amy Winehouse inspired fit. I think that'd be great. And in our group chat, at least, it is well known that my drag name is Miss Nematode, which is, I would say, it's not even really a pun. It's just kind of like a repurposing of the nematode, which is the animal that I studied when I did my PhD. So that's just kind of like known that is the look that I'm going for. So the music, the song, I was trying to think like what I'm best suited for, not like in terms of my vocal range, but just in terms of like what kind of stuff I get the most excited about. Yeah. I think like the kind of like mom pop country of like the 90s is really like my bag. So I feel like I would really love to do like a Shania Twain or like a Faith Hill Breathe type thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be very fun. I mean, I try to pull those out at karaoke and my voice just does not go high enough, sadly. But I think I would go for one of those. I think Breathe by Faith Hill is really my jam.
I was just going to say Breathe would be great. And then you could intercut it with like funny clips of people breathing heavily. Like, like Destiny's Child. Can you keep up, baby boy? When I lose my breath. That would be perfect.
That would be funny. Yeah.
I like that.
All right, next question from Ben.
Okay. Well, Ben had a lot of questions here.
What are your 3 desert island albums? You can pick 5 if 3 is too hard.
That is a hard question.
Okay, I've thought about this one, so I can go first if you want to think. Okay.
Go ahead.
So I want to just, again, caveat this with the fact that I'm basic. And so all of these albums are going to be post-2000 albums.
Okay.
I'm not going to pull out like Marvin Gaye, although I know that there's a lot of great classic albums from, earlier decades. Okay, first one, Notes on a Conditional Form by the 1975. This wouldn't be my favorite 1975 album, but I think it's a good desert island album because there's a lot of variety in the genres and the sounds of the music, and it's very long. So I think that Notes on a Conditional Form is a good one to bring to the desert island. I think that Melodrama, Lord.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Is a good one. I was thinking about like Lord and Jack Antonoff because Jack Antonoff is one of my faves historically, just as a producer and then on his own on Bleachers. I think that Melodrama is like the height of his producing chops. Like every time I listen to that album, I'm just like, this really still hits, and it's just like a really emotional and fun album to listen to. So, if you want some of that energy on the island, have a little dance party, have a little cry under the palm tree or whatever, you got that on Melodrama.
That's a good one.
And then number 3, don't cancel me.
Okay.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Kanye, because I think that
it's a great album.
It's the peak of Kanye's creative output.
Mm-hmm.
It has some of his best production work. It also has some of his best verses. I think that like Gorgeous, for example, is one of his best rap performances ever. Every time that I start the album and I hear like the opening kind of like chimes of dark fantasy, I'm just like, this just fucking hits. Like this production is just top tier. To me, it is like the Michael Jackson's Thriller level. Every single song is a banger of like that era of rap music.
Yep.
Pre 2016 Kanye, we love. So those would be my 3. It would be Notes on a Conditional Form, Melodrama, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Those are pretty good ones and very different from each other, which is good for the
variety for the island. Yeah.
Okay, I could not do 3. I simply could not. So I did 5.
Okay.
The first was Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John, one of my favorite albums of all time. It is also a long album, which I was thinking about. I'm like, I need to have something that has, I'm not doing a Brat situation where it's like 38 minutes,
Right.
We need quite a bit of music happening here per album, per capita. That has like probably 5 like number 1 hits on it. So, great music, fun to dance to. Candle in the Wind makes me cry. It's a good song. Then I picked The Fame Monster by Lady Gaga. Also has probably like 5 number 1 hits ish, something like that.
Album,
At least top 10. And also definitely like a quite varied style of music, even though it's all kind of like electro pop. Each song is very different. Like Alejandro, of course,
Oh, yeah.
That like Argentinian inspired track.
Almost forgotten now. I mean, of course it's still Lady Gaga, but I think
TikTok.
one of the slept on singles from that album for
Gen
sure.
Alpha love Alejandro. Tell you that
Good.
much. Then I'm doing Rumors by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh yeah,
One of the greatest albums of all time. Also super long. Also has so many hits on it. Just a great album. I also picked Thriller because I said this is like a fucking banger from start to finish.
Yeah.
Like probably like top 5 albums of all time, I would say. And then I picked Number Ones by Destiny's Child.
The greatest hits?
Yeah. It's like their compilation of their greatest hits. And it's a fucking great CD from start to finish. There are like songs on there that you're like, oh, fuck, I forgot about this because it literally came out in like 1996 or 1997.
Yeah.
And they still hit. They're so good. It's got R&B. It's got pop. It's got like hip hop. It's really fun. It's a great album.
I was wondering how Beyonce was going to fit in your 5.
Yeah, Beyonce's a hard one for me because each of her albums is so different from each other. So different. And she has a lot of B-sides.
Quick sidebar. Top 3 Beyonce albums. You don't have to rank them, but of her discography, what are your favorite 3?
Dangerously in Love, because that's the one that really started it all. And I mean, it just has a lot of great songs on it, and her vocal range is crazy on it. Self-Titled.
Okay.
I think I mean, I know I love that album. I think it's really great. And damn, I think probably Renaissance. Cowboy Carter would be number 4.
Yeah. I think I'd go Renaissance, Lemonade, 4.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about 4,
I think 4
dude.
is deeply underrated.
No, I think I have to change mine. I think Self-Titled is getting bumped.
Oof.
So it's going to be Renaissance, Dangerously in Love, and 4. You're right. Damn. Good one. Great questions, Ben.
And then we got one more from Ben. How much would someone have to pay you to eat exclusively from Subway?
Oh, my God. Not this again. This question's been haunting our friend group for probably 10 years at this point.
It is a great conversation
I maintain
starter.
that it would have to be $500,000 a year after taxes.
Yeah, I think we kind of like have landed on that. It's funny how we have like come to a consensus agreement as a group that is the correct answer.
It's the only answer. It's crazy.
Okay, let's move on to our next listener.
Okay.
So this is from Catherine, who I think I can announce here just had a child. So congrats to Catherine and Elise for having a baby.
Catherine and Elise.
Catherine asks, and it may be related to that, what are your favorite names? If you had to change your first name tomorrow, what would you change it to?
So is that two questions?
I think 2 separate questions. I think favorite names, and then if you had to change your name tomorrow, what would you change it to?
Okay. My favorite names are probably, they're very like basic white people names. Avery, Henry, and Asher.
Asher?
Yeah.
I think that the first 2 are kind of like more normie white people names, then Asher is getting into the like Kaylee with an EIGH type name.
Asher is like Old Testament. Let's get that right.
I'm not saying that it's not Old Testament. I'm just saying vibes wise, okay?
Oh God, not McNavy, not McBraley.
And what would you change your name to? I guess Catherine says if you had to change your name, so you do have to change it.
I think I would just go by my middle name. Does that count?
Yeah. What's your middle name?
Spencer.
Okay.
I've always liked that name. What about you?
Yeah, I was thinking about this, and Brandy and I. What's funny is that Brandy and I, not that we're trying to have kids or anything, don't want to make that announcement, but God. I'm just saying we often do talk about names just because we have very different tastes in names. So what I'll say is these are my personal favorite names that do not necessarily correlate with Brandy's preferred names for kids or in general. But I really like the name Adelaide. There's something about the way that it rolls off the tongue that is really nice to me.
Yeah.
For boys, I also really like the name Dominic because I think I like the abbreviation Dom.
Gendered names here. Okay.
Those are 2 of my faves names personally. If I had to change my name, that's a difficult one. I really like Justin, honestly. I feel attached to the name.
Same.
My middle name is Michael, which is a family name, so I wouldn't be opposed to Michael, but there's already like a million Michaels in my life. It's a very common name.
You do have a lot of Michaels.
I don't know what I would change it to. Maybe I just change it to Jason because people do that anyways. So that's an easy switch.
Not Jason, our absolute op.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy's named Jason. Fuck that guy. Okay.
Fuck him.
Next listener is Hillary, who, of course, this is the sister of Claire who featured on our favorite films and TV of 2025 episode.
Indeed.
So shout out to Claire and Hillary. Hillary asks, hello, dearies. Here's one of your biggest fans sliding into your DMs. I love the pod. I've got some mailbag questions. First, and I think this is going to be mostly a Geoff question, I absolutely love your take on Survivor 50. Couldn't agree more. Can we talk about Geoff's, and this is Geoff Probst, Geoff's Dread Pirate Roberts outfit in the finale?
Girl, A mess.
I gotta admit, I didn't actually notice this when I was watching the live finale, but I think it's because Geoff still looks like he is existing in like 2007. Like he hasn't really
Right.
changed his like appearance or like his fits that much since then. But it is an all black pants, black belt, black shirt, very Dread Pirate Roberts type vibe for sure.
Geoff is an interesting fellow, that's for sure. Apparently, he has a gigantic penis. I've never seen it, but I remember seeing all these rumors about it.
Well, it's shocking you've never seen it. I'm glad you clarified that.
Okay.
So Hillary's question is, who would be in your Survivor Pantheon and why?
Okay. So my Survivor Pantheon, Boston Rob, because he's one of the greats and I could listen to him read the alphabet. He's very funny. He's very witty. He's got like that really strong Boston accent. And I just enjoyed watching him as a player. He also was like a big cutie when he was younger, Cirie Fields, of course. Everybody loves Cirie. She's one of the best to ever do it. One of the most likable and watchable characters ever to be on reality TV. Love Parvati Shallow, famously the winner of Survivor Micronesia. I think that there was a lot of misogyny that she faced back then. I think that was like probably 2004 or 5 Micronesia. And she definitely like used all the tools in her belt to win that season. She played a great social game. She was very strategic. She was behind a lot of votes. She was a great manipulator, a great liar. And did she use her beauty and her charm to her advantage? Absolutely. And no one should begrudge her that. You got to do what you got to do to survive.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Parv. I love Yul. I feel like he's like often overlooked, but he was like one of the best players, extremely cerebral, great strategist. He made it pretty far. He did not win, and he was great. I love Camilla. She's like a more recent player from like, I think season 48 or 49. 48, I think. Another extremely cerebral player. She's great at puzzles, great strategist. She's one of those players who like does a good job of kind of like fading into the background and flying under the radar and manipulating things from afar. I love Camilla. She's also very funny. She has like great witticisms and she has like very funny reactions to things. So I really loved her. Oh, I also love Carolyn from like season 47 or 46. Mm-hmm. Talk about great reactions. She's like a walking meme. She's like Kiki Palmer level of like hilarity. She was great. And then Aaron from Island of the Idols, because he's a family friend and he made like kind of a big mistake on the show, but he is a really good person and he was kind of like an older brother to me when I was very little, and so I was like rooting for him big time. And I'd love to see him back on the show.
Shout out. Okay, so I obviously am not as big of a Survivor fan as Geoff is. So I've only seen like a few seasons and like random episodes here and there. So I have like, I guess, 2 additions just from my very little bit of experience. One is I would actually love to see Amber on the same episode that Boston Rob, or the same season that Boston Rob is on. So I have seen Brandy rewatch that season because I guess it's like an all-time classic. I mean, there's this romance that happens. That Amber and Rob get engaged. The finale, the live finale.
Hot couple.
And you're absolutely right that they're just like such a hot couple. It's like Jim and Pam, right? It feels like everybody's rooting for them to get together. But I also think like the dynamics and the politics of having a married couple both playing the game at the same season is really interesting.
You'll be pleased to know, Justin, that they did appear together later on another season of Survivor.
I was going to ask that first to make sure I wasn't being redundant, but I still think it would be fun to see them together.
Justin, there's room for everyone in the Survivor fandom. That's one of the things I love about it.
Thanks, Geoff. And then also I would love to see Tiff return just as like, to kind of redeem herself. I mean, not that she played Tiff like a great game in 50, but she was so close to winning that immunity challenge and making it to the final 3.
That pissed me off.
It was tough. And I just think that
fucking Jonathan,
in watching Survivor, I have the instinct, and I think I am this person in like my personal relationships in real life, which is just like, I'm a very direct person and I try to be honest about the way that I'm feeling with people. And Tiff, I mean, obviously she was playing the game, so there were parts that she had to like, repress, but at least in her confessionals, she was very much like, yeah, I'm mad about this. And even to people like on the island she was playing with, she was like, yeah, I'm mad about this. Or like, I already know that you're not on my side, so why am I going to try to win you over? I know that nothing I can do will do that. And when I was talking to Brandy and Catherine, who is also a big Survivor fan about this, they were like, well, I don't know if that's like a smart move on her part. Like, she's not playing the game. And I'm like, but that's why I like her. Like, she's like, fuck
Right.
this. I don't really care about being political because nobody's going to side with me anyways. Right. And I feel like that aligns with a lot of my philosophy and like the way that people engage with politics in our society now, where it's like, why are we trying to win over these people who will never side with us? Right.
Right.
So I personally really liked Tiff's play style, and I would love to see her back on the show. And she's one of my faves in my very limited experience.
Yeah, I really like Tiffany too. And I think that she is extremely watchable because she is so honest and straightforward with people.
Yeah.
And not to mention, like, an excellent physical competitor. Like, she's probably one of the strongest physical competitors that show's ever seen.
Yeah, she does great in the
lucky
physical
to have
challenges. Yeah. Okay, next question from Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
With a certain event coming up, what would be your guidelines for a fun and what would be your guidelines for a fun and equitable Bachelorette/Bachelor event for millennials now in our mid-30s?
Well, why don't you answer this first, because I feel like you have some experience in this department.
I do, yeah. I mean, I want to caveat this by saying that like every couple is different, every friend group is different, every wedding party is different. So like, you know your wedding party better than I do.
Yeah.
But the way that Brandy and I did it, so we had always kind of decided, let's do a Jack and Jill party, meaning like a combination Bachelor/Bachelorette party. And that's just because Brandy and I have been together for so long, and we were first friends before we got together. So a lot of our friends are like shared friends. So it felt kind of unnecessarily like tribal to be like, let's split up this group. And it felt like it would be more fun
girl, boy,
if we brought everybody together and like had a big get together, right? That doesn't mean that we didn't have our own solo activities, right? During the Jack and Jill weekend, we kind of split up to do certain activities. And then at the end of the weekend, we got together and had like a big night out all together as a part of the same party, which was also fun for me and Brandy because like, you know, we got to do the like, we're getting married like thing, you know, in the club. And it was very fun.
In the club, we all get married.
In the club, we all fam, literally. Yeah, I personally am a fan of the Jack and Jill. That's more of like a conceptual thing. And I'm not sure, everybody has different relationships with their friends. So that's up to you. I also feel like I am not a proponent of a distant bachelor or bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Of course, this depends, if everybody has the means to do it, then by all means, like go for it. But I do feel like there is like an emotional leverage that you have as a, fiance to be like, guys, you got to support me. Let's go to Tahiti or whatever. And it's like, we should not be using that emotional leverage to force people to come travel for our enjoyment,
Treeance, what kind of tree would you be if you had to pick?
Birch.
I'm allergic. Tough choice. No, I literally am.
That's so funny.
What?
It's just very fitting. I'm allergic. Next.
I literally am allergic to birch. I can't do it. I do love them. I think they're beautiful trees.
That's my personal opinion. What we did is we went to Massachusetts, which for most of our, wedding party was like a day trip, right? Like a couple hour drive type of situation.
Not for Tori. Girl had to fly all the way from California to be with you.
That's exactly right. And that's why I'm saying like there's no one size fits all, right? Like I had friends that were coming from relatively far away. Brandy had friends that were coming from very far away in California.
So it sounds like you do love a distance bachelorette party.
Well, the thing is, if we had the bachelorette party like in Connecticut, right? Tori would still have had to fly out. Like there's no one place that would have been good for our entire wedding party.
I'm just teasing.
What we opted to do is to pick, I know I'm just explaining.
I think the listeners get it. Much to your surprise, they're not as dumb as me.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think you're dumb. So, and I also don't think the listeners are dumb. I'm just saying we tried to pick a thing that was a location that was convenient for as many people as we could.
Yeah.
And we also were totally fine with people not coming. So like my brother, Tim, for example, he's like in the military and he wasn't able to make it out. So he was like, I'm not going to be able to make it. And I was like, no problem. And as soon as I invited everybody, I was like, totally no worries if you can't make it. Like, don't worry about it. Right.
And what if I texted you, was like, Justin, I can't get leave from the military. I can't come.
Well, if you said that, I'd be like, this is news. Which
Justin,
branch?
I think I'm going to be sick that day, so I'm not going to come. But have a great time.
That would have been so rude. Okay. And then in terms of activities, this is where I think maybe you might have some opinions about like what is a fun Bachelorette weekend.
Yeah.
So my best man, Sean, I think did a great job of planning a lot of outdoor activities during the day. I'm also just like a big like food and drink guy. So like we didn't do a ton of like we didn't go to like a strip club. We didn't hire like any strippers or anything. We didn't go
turn them away at the door when I ordered them.
Didn't go to a casino. That's stuff that I just feel like is kind of, I don't know. We're still doing that.
Boring. Yeah.
Also sad. Like I just would not be having a good time. Pathetic. Yeah. I think that Hillary is probably of the same opinion. But I think that doing stuff like outdoors and doing hikes, or like we went kayaking, which is really fun.
Hikes?
Yeah, what's wrong with the hike? You came kayaking. That was nice.
Kayaking is so different than hikes, and it was lovely.
We also did a rope
so much
course,
fun,
which you enjoyed.
Yeah, that's not a hike.
How is that different?
The rope course and kayaking are like fun, finite activities that are done within like a certain space.
Yeah,
that is like clearly visible. The hazards are very low. A hike could be absolutely treacherous, Justin.
Well, it could be, but
you got wildlife, you got rocks on the trail, you got roots on the trails. There may not be trails.
I just feel like what is your image of a hike? Hikes are often like very curated with like designated paths. Like
I want a hike where it's like a level, like a bluff point. That's a great hike for me.
Okay, that's not a hike, that's a walk.
Exactly.
So you just want to go for a walk.
Yeah, why not? That's great.
Right, well, I guess
some of my best conversations have happened during walks. You know what I can't do on a hike, Justin? Talk freely and make jokes.
You can't talk during a hike?
I'm panting.
Are you running?
Lose my breath
on this hike?
Yeah, but Justin, some of these hikes that you people remember when we did the Taco Bell hike? Do you remember the Taco Bell hike?
I do recall the Taco Bell hike, yes.
Firstly, I do want to say I think that going on a walk, okay, and then having a picnic with Taco Bell is a great idea. What's not a great idea is trying to go on a treacherous hike on a, I would say, seldom traveled path and ascending great heights. We were climbing small mountains, I will say.
Okay, that is just simply not true. But okay, here's the thing. This is a great example of how Sean did a great job planning this, because he planned a bunch of discrete outdoor activities that everybody can participate in. So
that's what I'm saying.
I think you got to listen to what people are about in your friend group,
Yeah.
But I think like prioritize fun, I think that prioritize fun for the whole group. We did have like one night out where we went out dancing and drinking, and that was like a ton of fun. So yeah, I don't know. That's my opinion.
I say you and Brandy did a good job of your thing. Get a big house. Everybody has a bed. This is very important when you're in your 30s. Everybody's got to have a bed. I'm not doing an air mattress on the floor. I'm not doing on the floor. I'm not doing on a rusty ass Airbnb sleeper bed couch situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much. That's too much woke. And I'm old now. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I need a dedicated bed. I would say, you know what I kind of love the idea of like doing like even just a one day thing. We're all busy. Some people have children now. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
People are saving for houses and things of that nature. So like doing a one day thing is kind of fun too. It's like we're doing this, we're doing that, we're going to dinner, we're getting drinks, whatever. Or we're going out to the club.
Yeah.
We're going to a dancey bar even. Mm-hmm. That could be fun. Like Allie did that for her bachelorette party.
Yeah.
It was just a one day thing. They went on the tiki boat cruise. They went to the vineyard. They went to something else. I forget.
I mean, it was like a day, it wasn't like a casual, like, hey, we're hanging out. It was like, okay, we're going to the vineyard, then we're going on the tiki boat. Like it was a whole operation.
Do think there's something about having like a structured plan in place.
Yes.
And communicating it widely, I think is very important. And just like basically communicating widely with all of your guests beforehand of like, this is what I'm thinking. What are your thoughts? Or have like your person, not your person,
your best man,
maid of honor, your best man, your best person, whatever. Have them reach out and be like, hey guys, here's what I'm thinking about doing. What do you think? Or did you have ideas? I think that's great too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, communication is key.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, like, I think the financial aspect of this is kind of like often what causes issues. And I think just communicating about what the cost is, like for Brandy and I,
upfront.
We got the Airbnb basically, and we were like, we purchased it, reserved it or whatever. And we were like, hey, this is the estimated cost for everybody. If you can't afford it, like, that's fine. Just let us know. You can either not come or like we can work something out. Like, just let us know. Like that way, everybody has the expectation.
You got Klarna?
That's not what we said. But
yeah, it is. You said we'll front the cost if you can pay minute payments of $9.99 for another 36 months.
33% APR.
That's right.
But yeah, there's a lot of good options. And I really think it depends on your group of people, because often, like, once you're in your 30s, people are at different life stages. So it can be difficult to kind of plan around where everybody's at.
I agree.
A final question from Hillary to you, Geoff.
Mm-hmm.
When is Darren coming back on the pod?
Well, you'll be pleased to know that Darren is coming back in a few weeks. He is visiting from Australia, and I will be here this time. So I think he'll be like the third guest on the pod. A co-host.
Okay, cool.
It'll be a good time.
Excited for that. Okay, let's move on to our next listener, Geoff.
Yeah.
Our next listener is Anna, who, of course, has guest hosted on the pod. Shout out, Anna.
Of course.
She asks,
karaoke.
What are your thoughts on the men don't need microphones /podcasts discourse?
I would say I'm unqualified to have that conversation, because I am a man and I sit here on the pod with a microphone in front of me. And so that's tough.
This is classic Anna pot stirrer type shit. Okay, so this is an interesting one. There's different like spheres. There is a certain place in the US where if you're like in your 30s and you work in like entertainment or you work in a certain field, right? Your natural tendency is to go to podcasts, right? Like it's just like an easy thing. It's a relatively low effort. You do it. I will say that like here in DC, where I am, like in the field that I work in, you can speak for yourself. Like I don't personally see a lot of my peers starting podcasts, you know?
Same, yeah.
So I think that like a lot of this take comes from people that work in the industry, in an industry that has to do with entertainment. And I think that part of the benefit of our podcast is that we're kind of like every men, so to speak. And we're kind of coming at this from the position of people who have like actual full-time jobs outside of this.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I am not trying to like be famous through this podcast. Like I am not like,
speak for yourself.
Well, what I'm saying, if it happens to happen because of what we're doing here, that's great. But like, I didn't start this because I'm like, I want my face to be out there.
Right.
I personally find this.
Justin's like, I don't want my face out there. I don't even want my name attached to this.
I find this fulfilling in the same way that like a book club is fulfilling. Like I genuinely enjoy talking to Geoff about pop culture stuff. I don't always have the opportunity.
Who amongst us doesn't? I mean.
For real. I mean, like I don't have the opportunity to talk about Olivia Rodrigo's new album for an hour with the average person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most people would be like, oh, I didn't know she put out a new album.
Yeah.
You know? In my life, I should say. Most people in my life.
It enriches my life, you know? So like
so many people in my life would be like, who's Olivia Rodriguez? You know?
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on.
And I feel like it is healthy and good to have an outlet like that in your life. Like I think that a lot of men don't actually have that outlet and they're just consuming.
Well, and that's why they have a podcast.
Well,
because they're like, I'll find my people by broadcasting my insane takes out to the world, and then they'll come to me. And they do. Look at Joe Rogan.
Well, Joe Rogan, again, he already had a platform when he started his podcast, right? Like, I think that...
Yeah, but it doesn't... I mean, it pales in comparison to what he's built. Like,
that's true, but like...
He was like the host of Fear Factor, and what after that?
But this is kind of what I mean. Like, he is a personality first, right? And that is what caused him to start his podcast. Like, as small as his platform was then compared to what it is now, like, it was still bigger than our platform is now. Like, we're just kind of two guys just talking.
God, yeah. No comparison.
And I think that like genuine conversations about stuff like this is something that I value in my life. And I think that like we shouldn't be telling people not to have these types of conversations or not to try to be creative or make something, right? I think that it's can be healthy to have a hobby.
It's definitely healthy to have a hobby. And I think creating stuff is hard and doing hard things is fun and fulfilling. And it's always good to like push yourself. You're a pusher, Justin. You pushed me to do the pod.
And this sounds like I'm just like very anti the men don't need microphones conversation.
I don't think you're saying that at all.
I just want to clarify that I think that there are a lot of guys that already have platforms that say, how can I do, you know, a low effort, like passive income type thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that this is necessarily the case, but you know, we've talked about like Jason Bateman and Will Arnett's podcast where it seems very low effort and they have the ability to hire a podcast producer, to reserve a recording studio, to have all of these advertisements and promotion behind it without having to put a lot of effort in themselves. They just provide the capital and they show up. And I'm not saying that they're like not talented people because, you know, they're all very talented actors. But
Yeah.
I think that a lot of the podcasts, especially from like influencers and celebrities, are low effort.
Yes, I agree.
You know, we're doing here everything in-house. You know, we record on our laptops. I edit on my laptop, you know, like in my free time. So this is, I think, like a valuable hobby for me. And I think that what's bad is people who just kind of like say shit without thinking into a microphone that is potentially dangerous or bigoted and then put that out into the world. Like, we definitely need less of that. And I also think that like we provide a bit of a different perspective than a lot of male dominated podcasts.
That's true. Justin, I think you've said it all. And I agree and co-sign.
Final question from Anna. What is your optimal bagel order? And this is because apparently they, don't know who they is, always ask New York City mayors about this.
Oh, you know, she's talking about like
the Illuminati.
Yeah, yes. She's talking about the Illuminati. No, you know, they're always asking this on like Variety.
Like the media.
Yeah. Vanity Fair, Vogue, all the V's.
So what's your optimal order, Geoff?
Okay, my optimal bagel order is as follows. I want a toasted Asiago, sometimes toasted everything, just depends on my mood, bagel. I want extra crispy bacon. This is, by the way, this is the kind of sandwich that you get in actual bodega. You know, Apple Tree. What a great bodega.
Shout out.
One of the best I've ever been to. We need the full fucking counter where they're sitting there asking what's your order? I'm getting toasted Asiago bagel. I want extra crispy bacon. I want a light smear of butter on it. I want 2 fried eggs over hard with the yolk broken.
No yolk.
I want cheddar cheese. I want black pepper. And I want salt on top of my tomato slice.
Just so there's tomato as well.
Absolutely.
That's a great call.
You have to have a little bit of extra moisture. I love the sweetness that the tomato provides. It helps to like cut some of the acidity of the bacon. Well, tomatoes are acidic too, but like the taste of bacon can sometimes be acidic, especially if it's like charred from being extra crispy. And so like the sweetness and the moisture content from the tomato is perfect on a dry bagel. My eggs, which are drier, you know, because I like them over hard, cooked all the way through with no yolk.
Yeah.
I think it's a great order, and I fucking love it. And bonus if they have microgreens, because I do love microgreens sprinkled on top of it.
That is not a usual bodega ingredient, for the record.
I know, but I've had it before, and it is good.
It's more of a Whole Foods ingredient. Okay. I have 2 potential orders, depending.
Okay.
I have a cold order and a hot order. So,
okay. Let's hear the cold first.
Both are everything bagels, coincidentally. But I love an everything bagel with lox, cream cheese.
What kind of cream cheese?
On this particular bagel, a scallion or a regular.
Yes, scallion. Yeah. Scallion every time for me.
Red onions, capers, tomato.
Woo, that sounds so good. Your breath going to be stankin', but it's going to be so good.
But that's how you know it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's my cold order. I just love a bagel with lox. It's incredible.
I love lox.
So I had a bunch of my UConn friends, a bunch of my college friends visit New York when I had moved there, maybe like a year after I moved there, a couple years.
Yeah.
And we were staying in Queens. And I like stayed over at the Airbnb that everybody was staying in. And I had to wake up early and get to the lab to do an experiment. So I had to leave everybody behind in the Airbnb. But I was like, first of all, we had gone out clubbing the night before. So I woke up, I'm half dead, right? I'm hungover, I'm tired. I'm like, I need something. So I walk into just a local bagel store, right?
What part of Queens were you in?
Crown Heights. So I walk into a local bagel store, Jewish deli.
I don't know where that is.
Order a bagel with lox. Geoff, this is the best sandwich I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
It was truly legendary. So I'm always chasing that high forever.
It's like doing meth.
That was the best bagel I've ever had in my life. Okay, hot. I am a big fan of a bacon, egg, and cheese similar to you. I like a runny yolk. I like pepper jack cheese for a little spiciness.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple.
I'll allow it.
If they have like a Tabasco or something, I like to add on the sandwich. But that's about it. Pretty simple.
I really enjoyed that sound effect. Because that actually is what it sounds like when you're like shaking it and it's making that little slapping noise.
Yeah.
It's great. Good job. You can't do accents, but you can do sound effects, Justin.
Thank you.
Let's celebrate that.
Editor Justin, play the claps. Okay. We have a bit of a long one here. This comes from Instagram from a listener, Ray.
Oh. Hey, Ray, how you doing? Tell your mama say how she doing.
So Ray says, we live in a rent-stabilized building where the majority of residents are lower income, have been there their whole lives, Now we have an increasing number of newer tenants who have moved in since COVID. One of the new neighbors, is very into this local activism thing, and he keeps trying to organize periodic building meetings. He's created a tenant group chat, and these keep falling flat. We have in the past met up for a couple meetings, but the older residents just want quiet and affordability. But our neighbor wants quote unquote nice things. Most recently, he's organized a tenant sweep where he asked us, only if you're interested, no pressure, to do a Saturday gut clean of the building, planting flowers in front, waxing the main hall floors, and also asking for donations, chip in for the wax machine and all.
That's crazy.
Personally, Ray is on the gentrifier side. He wants nicer, cleaner, wealthier, but he also recognizes that this is how insidiously we promote gentrification.
Mm-hmm.
The building is clean enough, and it's also the landlord's job. Good enough and cheap is also quote unquote nice. When we normalize niceness and chipping in, lower income residents feel increasingly like they don't belong. We make the neighborhood cleaner, so we attract higher end shops and restaurants. And before you know it, we've successfully colonized it into a Park Slope type neighborhood. I think the very premise of wanting quote unquote nice things is problematic, but this new tenant is pretty set in his ways. Unfortunately, I think we will lose some more of our Caribbean neighbors in the coming years. What's your take? Is our neighbor right and I'm a Grinch, or am I on to something?
Okay, well, I have several thoughts. Firstly, I'm curious where he gets the feeling that he's going to lose some of his neighbors who've been there for his whole life. Have they said that? Have they moved out because of this? Like, is there actual, like, causation here, or is it just correlation?
Mm-hmm.
Is the landlord raising the prices because this one young whippersnapper in there is, like, trying to whip up people to clean up the building? Like, these are questions I have that would help me have, like, a more completely formed opinion. But I disagree with the take that wanting nice things is inherently a bad thing. I think what's bad is that people take nice things and then they're like, well, now because it's nice, this should be more expensive and costly. So really capitalism is the issue here. But, you know, I can't save the world, so I'm not even going to try to solve for that. But I do feel like this rabble rouser should probably take his, like, well-intentioned ideas of like getting people together and forming community and probably go to a location where that would be more welcome. It sounds like these people just want to, like most New Yorkers, mind their business and like do their thing and not be interrupted and have peace and, you know, solitude. New York is just like such a slog, and like home should be a place of relaxation and restorative rest, and it should not be a place where you're now like, okay, now I'm feeling pressure to like do this other shit. Like it feels like an overzealous PTA mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with everything you said. I think that we're on the same page with this. Like, in theory, doing some of these things, like cleaning up the apartment building, maybe planting stuff, like in theory, this is nice and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like beautifying your space or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the part that kind of like is a little bit of a yellow flag is, and I think that Ray implies this in the way that he talks about this guy, like, is the way that he's trying to get everybody involved, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I know this person and they're annoying. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, they're like an interloper almost.
I think that if you want to do this, it can be opt-in, like, or maybe just form relationships with people instead of saying like, hey, I'm starting a group chat, join in, we're doing this.
Yeah.
I think that like having an actual relationship sometimes takes years, especially in New York where maybe you don't know your neighbors that well.
Yeah.
But eventually you do get to know them. It just takes a while. And I think that like forming those relationships is not as simple as starting a group chat.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, I hate being added to group chats, to be honest with you. And I have been lately, and I'm like, stop.
Right.
It's very annoying, especially if you're in there with Android people and you can't just like easily leave the chat. I hate that. But also I'm like, if this guy wants to do these things, firstly, waxing the floors is a crazy thing.
That's really extra.
Like, if you want to like vacuum them, or like maybe you even feel so inclined to like mop the area immediately outside your door, like go off, queen, do your thing. But I feel like it's crazy to be like, oh, I'm getting a waxer, so, you know, if you guys want to chip in for that, it's like, that's not your job, and that's crazy. But I do feel like if you want to like plant flowers in front of your building or like make like, you know, decorative pots, like just do that. No one's telling you, like, as long as your landlord doesn't mind, just like do it. This is my
like big knee-jerk reaction to this is like, why are we trying to loop everybody else in on this? Like, it's actually a great community building thing just to do it. And then you'll probably meet people. You'll probably form relationships with people that you work with, and maybe people will be thankful, right? Like, I think it's not necessarily the apartment building getting nicer that is pushing out, seemingly, according to Ray, pushing out these older people that have been living there for a while. My guess is that it's this like strange pushiness and sense of ownership over the community that this random guy seems to have now that's trying to start this group chat.
Yeah, it's very weird to like come into like a building where people have been there their entire lives and be like, hey, everybody, I know I just moved in, but we're changing things.
Right,
like, that's
exactly.
crazy.
That's strange. I think that's
not how you form
is.
community.
Agreed.
So I think that guy kind of sucks. And, I do stuff around my building that I want done because I would like it. So like the planters on in front of my building, I do those. Mm-hmm. I bought them and I put them in and I maintain them because I enjoy having flowers on my front stoop. I vacuum outside my building and the apartment across the hall for me because I want that top floor clean. And I hate tracking in little bits of paper and dirt and grass and whatever gets tracked day to day.
Right.
I'm not like, hey, everybody, I just vacuumed the hall. So if you could like Venmo me like 50 cents for wear and tear on my vacuum, that'd be great. Thanks so much. And I'm not like, hey, I'm planting flowers out front. Would you like to join me? Or like, donations appreciated. That's crazy.
And there's a difference between a new person coming in and asking people to pitch in for something versus somebody who has lived there for years that has cultivated a community there saying, hey, to people that they already know, would you be down to pitch in for this? Right. Yeah. Like there's a difference between those two things. And based on Ray's question, it sounds like this new guy is in the former category and not the latter category.
Right. Yeah, Ray, that guy sucks. But I would love it if you followed up and gave us more context because now I'm just being nosy.
Okay.
And thanks for writing in.
Yes, thank you for writing in. Okay, couple more questions. This one's from Cam. What would Zendaya's career be like if she had gone the music route? Because Replay was such a banger. Maybe she'll
Yes,
loop back
it was,
to it.
Girl. Yes, it was.
Thoughts on this?
I love that Cam has like mentioned Replay because that song does not get the respect that it deserves. It really is a fun bop. I think that if Zendaya went the music route, she would be doing very well. She's definitely talented. She's a good singer. I don't know if she's a musician. I think she probably went with acting because it's more fulfilling to her. And my guess would be that comes more naturally to her than like singing. But I would also kind of love to see her do like an artistic album a la Solange. Like if she feels like she has something important or interesting to say within her. I wonder if that was like something she wanted to do or if it was like, the studio was like vertical integration. We need you to now do a record for us.
Yeah. I mean, when she put out Replay, she was firmly in her like Disney girl era. So I feel like to answer, it's an unsatisfying answer, but I don't know what her music would sound like. Right. I don't have a sense. And she's maybe in today's age, a surprisingly private person in the public sphere. Right. Like she's always showing up to award shows looking great, but like we actually don't know a lot about her private life. Like look at all of the discourse around her and Tom Holland's marriage, right? Like how long did it take before we actually got that officially confirmed, right? She's very happy to let things kind of be mysterious. So I don't have a sense of what her personal tastes are.
Yeah.
That's her right. I'm not saying that I want to have an idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a sense of whether she's like a musical person or if that was just something where they were like, hey, you're a star. This is what the Disney girlies do, right?
Exactly. Part of the machine.
Yeah, I think it would be very interesting to see what her interests are musically.
Same. Yeah, I mean, if she has that within her, I would love to see it. And I'm sure she'd be great at it because I don't think Zendaya would do anything badly.
Yeah. I think that there is like an interesting difference between film, like being an actor, I should say, and being like an artist in the music space. Like Replay is the type of song where it was probably written by somebody else. It's probably not like directly influenced by events in her life. They probably just like had her on the song because she's a celebrity and she, vocally she does a great job on the song, but being like a dedicated album artist is a little bit different than that. And I feel like acting, you're usually taking on the persona of somebody else. And for somebody who's like private like Zendaya, I wonder if part of the appeal of acting versus being a musician is just that she's able to have a private life.
Yeah. Zendaya, if you're listening, we'd love to see it if you have it within you. But, we also just love you as you are.
We do. We love Zendaya. She's, I would say, one of our fave like actors on the pod. We're talking about her all the time.
Well, yes.
Okay. Question from Allie. Shout out Allie.
Pally.
To take a page out of the Good Hang Pod, can you please each describe your nighttime routine? What is important to you? Night shower? Noise machine? Skincare? phone away from the bed. Sincerely, your favorite sleeper, Pal.
I was gonna say I'm not at all surprised that Pally wrote in a question about like bedtime
She loves
rituals.
to sleep.
Allie is definitely my favorite sleeper.
Yeah.
Justin, I don't know anything about your nighttime routine, so I would. Well, actually, I know what your nighttime routine
We've broken
used
this down
to be.
on the pod. We've broken
I
this
know
down
what
on
it
the
used
pod.
to be, Mr. Not Brushing Your Teeth, but
That's right.
I would love to hear now as a changed and married man what your nighttime routine is like.
Yeah, so first of all, I'm a morning showerer. So this is just
Disgusting.
because I feel like I'm not awake until I shower. So like if I wake up and I haven't showered, I feel like unclean. There's something about it.
Por qué no la dos?
Shower twice a day.
Yeah.
Isn't that not good for your hair or skin?
Does my hair or skin look problematic to you?
I'm just saying what I've heard, okay? That I don't know that it's necessary to shower twice a day.
Something about bad for your skin, so I'm not.
Here's when I will shower at night is when I go for a run. Like if I shower in the morning, go to work, and then I go for a run, I'm sweaty. That's gross. Like, sure, I need to shower.
Well, thank God you said that.
That's normal stuff. But like on a day when I'm not working out, I'm not sweating particularly hard. And even like in DC, sometimes if it's just like 100 degrees, I'll shower twice a day. Like that happens, right? But I do think I'm usually a morning showerer. And that's for a few different reasons. Just a psychological thing. And also like my hair is of a texture that I feel like if I shower at night and then I wake up and I were to go into work the next morning, my hair is going to look significantly worse than if I were to shower in the morning. It's just the way that I find my hair looks the best. Okay, so other questions that she asks. Skincare. I do wash my face and I have a CeraVe PM moisturizer that I use. My skincare routine is pretty simple. CeraVe face wash. I have a SPF moisturizer for the day and I have a nighttime moisturizer for the night. The phone is an interesting one. So I used to be a huge proponent. Well, I still am a huge proponent of keeping your phone away from the bed. But Brandy and I recently shifted the arrangement of our bedroom so that I don't have like a convenient place to put my phone that is within reach of a charger that is also far away from like my side of the bed. I probably could arrange it in that way, but I just haven't done it since we moved everything around. So unfortunately, my phone now is kind of like next to me when I'm going to sleep. I think my ideal sleeping setup is book light with like a red toned light, which you remember on New Year's, I brought a bunch of book lights as like one of our like Yankee Swap type gifts. So there's like a warm tone book light that I use to read a book. That is my ideal sleeping arrangement. If I'm reading, I'll be asleep in 10 minutes no matter what. Like as if I'm reading a book, like it's puts me out like that. So that's like ideal. In the last few weeks, because of rearranging the bedroom and also just because of like I've been busy and like I haven't I'm reading the Odyssey right now, which like is not the most compelling book for me to read before I go to sleep.
Honk shoe.
I have been playing my Switch or I've been watching videos on my phone, which is like less conducive to sleeping, unfortunately. But I'm making it work. So that's like my general routine. I don't need a noise machine. I like, well, maybe not like Pal. This is an interesting dynamic, but I can pretty much fall asleep under any circumstance. Like no matter where I am. This is never a problem I've had. I can just kind of fall asleep at will.
Very like Allie. Allie can fall asleep anywhere.
That's true. But Allie is also somebody who has like, she's like, I can fall asleep anywhere. However, I have all of these things that I like to do when I do fall asleep. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like most people are that way, don't you? Well,
I'm saying that I'm not, you know?
I think most people have like a preference.
I have not had an issue with noise. Like I think that my time in New York has completely made me immune to any like street level noise waking me up at this point.
What about, do you ever use a sleep aid like a melatonin or anything like that?
No, I'm too worried about dependency, honestly.
A great point, honestly.
So what about your routine, Geoff?
Well, when I get home from work, my street clothes come off immediately, almost immediately. And I'm naked. I'm getting into the shower. I used to be extremely hot showerer. I would put it up all the way. I'd be like, let's fucking crank this and see how hot we can stand it.
Couldn't be me.
I don't do it anymore. And I want to tell you this. Putting the shower at like a very reasonable like 90 degrees or so is quite refreshing to me. And it's new for me. I truly used to be like 115.
How do you know the temperature? Are you like measuring the temperature?
Justin, you're going to think I'm insane, but one time I was kind of like, how hot is the water? Because like I live in an apartment and I don't have like a fancy shower gauge that like has the degree setting. You know how some of them have the digital display?
I have never seen that, honestly.
Girl, you got to get into this. Some of the Kohler, some of these Waterworks, some of these brands have like the inset digital display, so you can set it exactly to your preference, and they have memory buttons on it, like a car, so
Wow.
that it like automatically goes to like whoever's showering their preference. So it's like, oh, I memory 1, 2, or 3.
This is outside of my tax bracket.
Me too, but I'm saying I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I took my internal temperature thermometer once, and I just like held it in the water to see what the temperature reading was. Is it exact? Probably not, because it's not being used as designed. But when I had it cranked to where I normally had it, it was like right around 115, 116 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm down to like 90, and it's very refreshing. I find it more calming. I do find that my skin is not as dry as a result of it, but I'm doing a shower at night always. And you also know, because you've been with me many nights when I've done this, if I have been like wearing shoes of any kind and we've been out somewhere,
oh yeah,
even if I don't shower, even if I'm at my like most disgusting drunken foolishness, I feel terrible. Actually, if I feel terrible and gross and sweaty, I'm definitely taking another shower. But if I was just like out and maybe we were wearing like sandals and we were in someone's yard or something, just hanging out, having drinks on the patio, I'm at least washing my feet before I get in bed. It's a weird thing, but I have to have clean feet before I get in bed.
No, I know that like this is a thing for people. There's like a sacredness to the bed, I think, for a lot of folks.
Because get into this, if you're not showering before bed, you are just basting your own juices. You're sleeping in filth. It's nasty. That's Miss Nasty.
I just feel like you're always sleeping in your own filth. There's always stuff on you. You can't shower away all the filth off your body. Human bodies are gross by design. You know what I mean?
And get into this. This is why you also have to wash your bedding once a week.
Yes. Well, I do think you have. One of the things that I learned is that I should have been in my past washing the bedding significantly more often. This is something that I agree with. I'm just saying.
I love that you're very careful about that. I agree.
I'm just saying that I think that there is like a certain paranoia about like hygiene. Like I'm pro hygiene, but I do think that there is a paranoia that it's like, oh, everything that's coming out of my body is gross and I'm stewing in my own juices. And it's like,
but we are.
Yeah, but like we always are. That is like the nature of human existence, you know?
But why add nastiness by not rinsing and cleansing yourself of all the filth beforehand, you know?
I just feel like a lot of this hygiene talk is like kind of coated with like a lot of I don't know, like the cleanliness and like the filth that is apparently coming out of our own bodies. It's like just a little bit much. I feel like let's be welcoming and generous to ourselves and our bodies, you know?
Okay, Mr. Biologist. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't want to be too generous or welcoming of ball sweat, okay? Or swamp ass in the bed. So I'm going to try to get rid of it.
Maybe it's just that like I listen, when I have that problem, I think that the line is maybe different for everybody, but like there's a difference between just like I have been out and like not really working a lot, like not exercising a lot, or maybe it's not particularly hot outside. I still feel like clean. But if I've been like, if I went for a run.
You feel clean, but you're not.
Well, clean is a spectrum, right? There's not like absolutely clean.
Like everything.
And filthy.
Sure.
Like I said, we're always kind of dirty in some way. Like you can't wipe away the flora of your skin, right? That's never going to go away.
Okay. Well, back to my nighttime routine. I'm doing an everything shower all the time. I've heard crazy talk of people being like, today's like a crevices day. And then I'm getting out, and I'm like,
"Who's telling you?" Wait, hold on. Who's telling you this? Men or women?
Oh, both.
Because one exception is I think like a lot of times when people say an everything shower, usually they mean hair. Yeah. Because I am somebody who, when I have longer hair, I don't wash my hair every day. But when I have shorter hair, you kind of have to wash your hair every day because it gets really oily.
Justin, you have to wash your hair every day, all the time.
No. That's what I'm saying. Everybody knows this. This is a thing. When you have longer hair, you can't. It's actually unhealthy to wash it.
You think suddenly it's like, oh, my long hair is like repelling dirt and
no, it's not. It's not that. It's actually the oil is good for the health of your hair. So if you keep washing it off, when I say wash, I mean with shampoo. Okay. I'm always wetting it. Sometimes I have a cleansing conditioner if it's very long. Mm-hmm. I'll do that every day, but not with shampoo. I mean, ask anybody with long hair. They'll usually say, I'm not washing it every day.
You got to wash your scalp every day, and I'll die on this hill.
It's not good for the hair, but okay.
So Anyway, I'm doing it in everything shower. I exfoliate with my Korean long ass like mesh thing. You know what I'm talking
I know
about?
what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's about 2.5, 3 feet long, and
Now we're just talking about
love
shower
that shit.
technique.
Yeah, one simply must. I don't really feel clean unless I've done that. And I'm doing it everywhere. And then I have a lovely scrub. It's a sugar scrub, or salt scrub rather, from Trader Joe's, which has vitamin E, jojoba, and lavender oil in it. And I just like, when I'm done with my shower, or nearly done with my shower, I'll put that on and scrub a dub. And then I do a nice final rinse off. Always shampooing, always conditioner. And I try to keep the conditioner just to the ends. You know, I have short hair, so that could be tough. Yeah. Then after the shower, I'm doing hyaluronic acid. I'm doing some niacinamide. I'm doing retinol. And then I have other stuff that I do, but not every day. That's like, you know, more intense. And then I'm also like locking in all that moisture, which the body oils already help to do, with Nivea cream or CeraVe moisturizer, depending on how dry I am. And Nivea cream is for when I'm drier. And then for bedtime, I'm taking like a glass like this, and it's only half full with water, and I'm setting it on the coaster next to my bed. The lights are off. I do have my phone next to my bed. I do sometimes listen to a podcast to fall asleep. I do sometimes watch videos. Every now and then I'll read. I'm currently like reading Ina Garten's memoir. And I'll tell you what, as soon as I start reading, it's
lights out.
I'm getting knocked out.
It's the best way to fall asleep.
Honk shoe. Yep, that's why it takes me so long to read anything. Oh, and I am cleaning out my CPAP every night, and I'm refilling it with distilled water. And then I'm putting that shit on my face, and I sleep like a baby. If I don't use my CPAP at night,
it's over.
I might die.
So,
curtains.
Question about the glass of water. Is this like an emotional support glass of water?
Sometimes like my mouth just gets a little dry.
Okay.
There are often times I don't touch it throughout the night. But if I have a full glass, I feel compelled to drink it. And then I have to wake up and pee really badly at like 5:30.
Okay. So the bladder's a problem.
And I don't want that. Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I'm doing half a glass, and then I don't feel like I'm like, well, I just poured all this water, I gotta drink it.
You want to know some, this is a crazy bit of lore about myself.
Tell me.
This is like a classic like straight guy thing, but I feel like I don't drink a lot of water until I'm thirsty, and then usually my method of drinking water is like,
oh, you chug?
Yeah, I'll like pour a pint glass of water and just chug it, and then put the empty glass in the sink.
Well, Justin, as I'm sure you know, because you're a biologist, your body cannot absorb water in that way.
Well, you know.
You're just floating your tummy.
I'm doing okay so far. All right.
You're doing all right.
We have 2 more listeners to get through before we're done with our mailbag. First one.
Okay, we got to be fast.
Sam, this is an easy one, I think.
Okay.
Would you rather drink all of your beverages through A, the super tiny plastic coffee stirrer straws, B, a normal width straw, but it's 3 feet long, or C, those Save the Turtles paper straws? And important context, you are responsible for supplying yourself with a straw if you ever wish to drink.
Oh my God.
Which of the 3 are you choosing? Honestly,
just for the sake of convenience, it's got to be those tiny little stirrers, because you could use like multiple of them at once and that would be fine. And they also won't like bend to the point of failure in your pocket as easily as like a paper straw would. And I'm certainly not doing the 3 foot long straw.
That's obviously the loser here, right? There's no way you're carrying that around.
That's very much like, I drink your milkshake from all the way over here.
You actually have to say that every time you drink a beverage.
Yeah. I drink it up.
I think personally, and for the reason that I just explained, I usually drink very fast. Like it's a problem. Like if I have a beverage in front of me, I'm like, my goal is to finish this as fast as possible. And for that reason, I think the Save the Turtles paper straws is probably the most convenient for me, because those only really get soggy once they've been in the beverage for a long enough time.
What about transport? They will bend so easily in your pocket.
They're usually sturdy enough that they're still functional until they hit liquid, in my experience.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like utter failure.
But I think that, again, I drink...
Epic fail.
Usually my drinks are drunk fast enough that I don't have to worry about that.
It's not a big issue for you.
Okay. Question 2 from Sam. This one, I think we'll probably agree. Which of the 2 of you would win a fight if you only use your feet?
I did think about this, and I have to say both of us have very large calf muscles, like very fully developed. And I think my feet are slightly bigger than yours, but that does not necessarily mean that I would win. And I feel like you're also like much scrappier than you let on. So I might have to give this one to you.
This is interesting. I was thinking definitely you, because
I can see why you think that.
I was thinking the same thing, that I feel like you're a lot scrappier than you let on. I think that some people might think, oh, Geoff, he's not really a fighter. They wouldn't know you,
That's exactly right.
So I think...
But you don't know about me. I got stuff going on.
I think it's you. And I also think that you are somebody with a low center of gravity. And I think that using your legs, it's very important that you keep balance. You know what I mean? And I think that you are somebody who I think would be able to do that pretty well.
Okay. That's interesting.
Sam does ask a follow-up question. Does your answer change if the fight takes place in space? I'm going to say no. I think that Geoff still wins.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have a final question from dear friend Hannah, who was on our gamer podcast.
Hannah
asks, when is the B mix dropping?
This is very obviously a question just for you.
Okay, for listeners who don't know what the fuck we're talking about, I am a DJ on the side, like as a total hobbyist, like not usually professional DJ, although I have technically been paid to DJ before, so I guess technically I have been a professional
You've
DJ.
Been paid many times to DJ.
But it's like a hobby mostly. And for a long time I was putting out a mix every single month, like about an hour-long mix every single month, and it's slowed down a lot, partially because I've been redirecting my focus on the podcast, but also partially just because of other life stuff that's been going on. And at some point, I actually don't know the origin, so Hannah, write in. I don't even remember the origin of how this began, but it was kind of a bit that Hannah started asking me to make a mix that was about bees, like the insects. And we were kind of brainstorming different bee-themed songs. And Hannah kept sending me these like clips of bees and any bee-related media on Instagram. There's a lot of bee remixes. The Bee Movie has a couple of songs that I would think we were talking about putting on. Bees in the Trap. Anything by Beyoncé because of the Beehive. So we've had a lot of conversations about what might fit in the bee mix. To be honest,
Honeybee, Olivia Rodrigo.
It's on my list. It's just that I got a lot of other stuff going on. For a long time I was making a mix a month in addition to thinking about the bee mix. And now I have the podcast. So it's just like, it actually takes a long time to make each of those mixes. And if I'm gonna put a lot of time into it, I'd like for it to be like something that I really enjoy and not like, let me see how many bee related songs I can find and mix together. The other thing is that a lot of the bee songs, while they share the subject matter of bees, they are different genres and are actually kind of hard to mix together in like a coherent way so that it sounds good, like as a mix, right? So that's the other challenge that I find myself running into with the bee mix.
I have faith in you to figure it out. I think if you do it by the end of the year, that'll be a big win. And I think I could help you. I have a lot of thoughts on this, actually.
Okay, well, we'll have to chat off pod about bee songs.
Okay, because I have this hard out, we have 1 minute each to talk about our what's good. So let's get right into it.
Okay, let's get right into it.
And this is a legitimately timed 1 minute.
Okay. Do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
Yes, Justin. Tell me what's good with you.
What's good with me this week, Geoff, are two songs from a DJ Jiggets. This is the same producer that produced the song Pressure, which was one of my favorite songs of last year. Mm-hmm. He has two new songs out. One is called Car Crash, which is like an absolute song of the summer pop dance music crossover hit. It's really big on TikTok, really big on Instagram. It's a really great melodic banger. I would definitely check that one out. And then the second one is called Thumbs, which is more of like a trancey, little bit stranger, more euphoric sound that is like really good and really fun. Jiggets in general, he comes from a background working in music advertising. So he has a great sense for being able to make these kind of like storyable, euphoric moments. So like these are very like euphoric songs, but they're like 2.5 minutes long. So he has a great sense of balance between like marketability and dance music's inherent ability to kind of transcend. I think that those two things combined make him like one of our best up and coming producers, and you should check out the two songs, Thumbs and Car Crash.
Love. Jiggets. That name is interesting. There's a lot to unpack there. I don't want to talk about it next time. Okay, for me, what's good this week is I am rewatching Shrill.
I wish you were going to say Shrek.
Newly released on Netflix. Could you imagine? I just want to say I was just watching clips. I have not watched the whole thing yet of the Las Culturistas Culture Awards, which came out last night or on the 17th. I think. We're recording this on Friday, June 19th. Anyways, A.D. Bryant did a great introductory bit to one of the awards that was being presented. She was so funny. So I was on Netflix last night and I was going to watch Better Call Saul, and then saw that Shrill was on Netflix recently added. So I started watching it again. And I just want to say A.D. fucking Bryant is the best. I miss her on my screen. I really miss her presence on SNL. I miss watching Shrill. I loved when that show came out. She's a star. She's so good in everything. She's brought so much like laughter to my life. The other people in the show that I really enjoy are Lolly Adofope, who plays Fran, who's Annie's best friend and her roommate. John Cameron Mitchell, who famously portrayed Hedwig in Hedwig and the Angry Itch, and he's produced and written a lot of different movies over the years, mostly like niche genre films. He plays her editor-in-chief, Gabe, who's like a beleaguered former punk who turned corporate. And Patty Harrison, a hilarious comedian who plays Gabe's assistant, Ruthie. This is a great sitcom. It's a half hour, has a great message. It's a lot of fun to watch, and great guest stars, including all kinds of folks from SNL, Beck Bennett, Vanessa Bayer, Bowen Yang, Matt Rogers. It's great. So really love Shrill. Everybody should check it out. It's on Hulu, and it's also now on Netflix if you don't have Hulu.
I can't remember if you just mentioned it or if this was your What's Good at a previous episode, but you've definitely talked about it on the pod. I still haven't watched, but it's on my list.
It's great. You should definitely watch it. Well, Justin, this was so fun. I love doing the mailbag.
Happy 100.
Happy 100.
Love it, chill episode. We'll be back next week to talk about Beef. Finally, we're going to finally get to season 2 of Beef, which has been long delayed.
Justin, I think the answer could be beef. And I don't know if it's beef, but beef sounds right.
Okay, well, cheers to 100 more. We'll see you next week, listeners.
Cheers to 100 more. Bye.
Bye. This has been Bants with Geoff and Justin. Bants is created and produced by Geoff Taylor and me, Justin Benavides. Graphic design by Geoff Taylor, editing by Justin. The theme music for Bants is the track Nebraska With You by Sam Day and is provided by No Copyright Sounds. Email us at bantspod@gmail.com with any questions, recommendations, or just to say hi. If you like the podcast, rate and review us on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. And tell your friends. Bye.
Bye.
So I don't have a sense of what her personal tastes are. I mean, just Mochi's being a real demon.
Dude. Oh, Mr. Moch. Oh.
Oh my God.
Listeners, Mochi is absolutely pawing at Justin's face. He's like, wop, wop, wop.
I can't even hear you because he pulled out the
He actually unplugged Justin's headphones. That was so funny. Mochi straight up attacked Justin on the pod.
Okay.
Lovingly.